Hello everyone, my name is Neil, and in this video I just want to show you guys my setup for what I like to use for lake sturgeon here in Minnesota. Now for starters, I won't be going into too much details on the very specifics on how to rig up for sturgeon, just more of what I like to use when I when I like to go for those big 6-foot, 5-foot, 7-foot lake sturgeons here in Minnesota. I have caught sturgeon on bass rod that were probably like 3 to 4 foot, and my biggest one in my last video, a 70-pound, 64-inch, 5'4" lake sturgeon was caught on this Hellcat rod with a 100-pound line and a 100-pound braided line with a 130-pound leader. Now, let's start with the rod. This rod is a 10-foot heavy action rod from Catch the Fever, Hellcat, and it is a sturdy rod. For lake sturgeons, I would definitely recommend at least medium heavy and a good stiff pull with some sort of padding where you have more leverage up here. When you're fighting sturgeon, never hold your rod here. You want to reel. Well, I can't really put the phone down, but you have one hand here and one hand above the reel. Never on or below the reel, above the reel. For a reel that I have a really powerful, PC Fun reel. This one's out of stock right now on the website and on Amazon. I got this one on Amazon for about $70. It was on sale, but on the website for a PC Fun, it goes for about $100. For the line, as I mentioned earlier, this is Hercules. I believe it's a Chinese brand from Amazon, and it was about, I want to say $80. This is 12 strand, 100-pound main line, going all the way up here and down to here. I have my sliding sinker, or my slider that I put my sinker on, and depending on what the current and how deep I'm fishing, I normally go for 10 ounce just to make sure my line stays exact, or my bait stays exactly where it is. Just like 10 ounce weight. 6 ounces is pretty good, but if you're going in like really heavy current areas, 10 to 12 ounce, 10 to 1 ounce is pretty decent. And then I have these plastic beads that should be covering the knot that's on my swivel here, but the knot is too dang big for the hole here. That's what she said. And then for a swivel, you can use tinier swivels than this one here. I don't have one handy right now, but this is a swivel that is rated for 300 pounds. And for the knots that I like to use, don't know if you guys can tell what it is. They're uni knots. You can use polymer knots, clinch knots, whatever type of knot that you guys prefer. But uni knots have never failed me, ever. That's just my opinion. I just like uni knots, and for me, they are the simplest one to do. I have done polymer knots, but which by the way, going into the line, on 130-pound line, it's really hard to do a polymer knot. So that's why I just stick with a uni knot. Now, I'm not going to go and show you guys how to do a uni knot, just because my explanations are shit. So since you guys are on YouTube, all you guys have to do on the search bar is type in UNI knot, uni knot, and then you'll find a whole bunch of videos out there that will explain how to make a uni knot. So like I said before about the line, this is a 130-pound trilene big game. I believe I have it in here. I can take it out real quick. 130-pound Trilene Big Game leader line. And this is just to prevent the scutes on the sturgeon from ripping off, or breaking off, tearing apart, whatever. Because sturgeon have scutes, 5 rows of scutes on its body that are really sharp and can cut braided line. Now this specific line is already abrasive resistant. You know, it's a 100-pound 12-strand braid, so it's pretty strong in its own right. But a 130-pound monofilament for a leader that leads up to the hook, which is going to be more than likely touching the sturgeon scutes, you'll want this on your hook than braided line. That's why I like to have like a swivel to prevent my main line from getting cut from the scutes of the sturgeon. I have caught sturgeon on these 2 rigs here, these 2 reels. This one has 30-pound monofilament, and this is 50-pound braid. And I have caught a 60-pounder on 30-pound monofilament, and a whatchamacallit, a 30-pounder on 50 pounds. Then the 30-pounder cut this line just because of its scutes. That's why when you're fishing for sturgeon, make sure your leader line is monofilament. I recommend monofilament just because it's super abrasive and cut resistant. Of course, you can cut it with knives and whatnot, but that's just what I use. Now for a hook and the bait, I use worms, and this hook right here is a circle hook. I want to say it's about 6-7/0. I think it's a 7/0 circle hook. Might be smaller. Now, just for comparison, for bluegills, I use these guys here, size 1, eagle claw, just regular light wire hooks. And this is what I use for sturgeon. And I want to say this is a 6/0 circle hook from Gamakatsu. Very, very good hook. And yeah, that's basically what I use for sturgeon. Just a quick recap. Big, heavy powered rod. Heavy action, heavy. Medium heavy to extra heavy is recommended. A powerful reel. This one's a big Sail-X PC Fun. And this is a 5,000 size with a 100-pound 12-strand braid leading up to a slider that holds my 10-ounce weight with beads to prevent the knot on my swivel. Then a 300-pound rated swivel with uni knots on both swivel ends of the eyes of the swivel and the hook, uni knots. And then for a leader line to prevent the scoots from cutting the line, I use a 130-pound Trilene Big Game and a 6/0 circle hook, using about 3 to 4 worms on just one hook. And yeah, that's my setup. And just so you know, a total for this setup is about $300, because you got 184 and you got freaking $100 retail price. I got it on sale. And then the line, the whole spool of the line, was about $20. And then this guy was about $20 as well. And then, a pack of these guys was about $3 at Walmart. And then a bunch of these guys, 100 of them, and then a bunch of these guys were each $6. Now, you don't have to go that crazy on that stuff. For example, this setup here, usually my dad uses. I also have a 100-pound line on that one too. And this was just under $100. This is a Berkeley Fusion with a Berkeley fishing spinning reel. And this is let me flip it around here. This is a medium heavy action 7-foot rod, and it does very well. I also have caught sturgeon on this guy too. I think I've caught a 5-footer on that one, but not my biggest one. But yeah, hopefully this shows you guys how serious it is to catch a lake sturgeon. This ain't no freaking bass or bluegill, nothing like that. No, this is like saltwater fishing for freshwater. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video was informal for you guys, and hopefully you guys can catch your own big, massive lake sturgeon. Y'all have a good one.